Thousands of starving and dead seabirds have been shored up along the coast of Alaska, prompting scientists to investigate the unusually high mortality rate of one of the Arctic's most abundant birds. Around 8,000 dead common moors were found last week on a 1-mile stretch of beach, 60 miles south of Anchorage. The true amount is thought to be more than 100,000. Higher than usual mortality rates have also affected marine life by the billion. Fish, sea otters, fur, seals, whales, crabs, dolphins, walrus, lobster, mussels, starfish, turtles and many more have been dying in alarming numbers along the coastal waters of North America. El Niño is the latest of many explanations given for the unprecedented loss of marine life along the coast. In the past, experts have blamed cold water, a lack of food, an enormous toxic algae bloom stretching from Alaska to Mexico, a massive methane leak in the Pacific, US underwater weapon testing, and sea quakes. The name Fukushima is never mentioned by the media, government or experts, even though between 300 and 800 tons of radiation has leaked into the Pacific every day since 2011. Indeed, scientists last year recorded radiation levels 50 times higher than normal along parts of the west coast. Maybe the reason for these deaths is not Fukushima. I don't have any evidence to say it is. But the World Environment Organizations are not telling us the truth for fear of losing government funding. Fukushima or not, 75% of the world's fish are now depleted. These numbers cannot be reversed. For instance, for every pound of fish caught on this planet, 5 pounds of untargeted species are trapped in the nets. Turtles, whales and sharks don't stand a chance. 40 to 50 million sharks a year are killed this way. Our oceans are close to collapse. NOAA are claiming there will be no fish left in the oceans by the year 2048. Last year, 30 billion animals were taken out of the world's oceans. It cannot recover. Fish don't multiply that quick. Now, back to the west coast of North America. I have done some basic research. Since 2011, I have been able to find 140 reports of marine life die-offs along the west coast. 20 of them were seabird deaths and 120 were fish, whales, dolphins, etc. Since 2011, the die-offs have increased by nearly 600% along the North American west coast. At the beginning of this year, 2016, 8,000 common moors have been found dead along a 1-mile stretch of coast in Alaska. The real death toll is thought to be more than 100,000. So even with my meagre attempt at research, it's easy to see that since the Fukushima disaster, the problem has increased enormously. But a very powerful El Niño event has also warmed up the East Pacific. However, with the El Niño event set to end this winter, it will be interesting to see if the deaths continue. Spare a thought for a village in the UK which endures a 75-day rain record, with more rain on the way. The village name is pronounced Eglwys Uru and is home to 700 Welshmen, and it started raining there on October the 26th last year, and it hasn't stopped since. A deadly heatwave kills 11 in South Africa as the mercury hits 45 degrees Celsius or 113 degrees Fahrenheit. According to the South African Weather Service, the North West Province reached record temperatures this week, with the highest at 45 degrees Celsius. Parts of southern Africa are experiencing a drought due to the El Niño weather phenomenon. And after 2 months of rain in 2 days, Sydney in Australia braces itself for a 40 degrees centigrade heat wave, which is 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The mercury had crashed through 30 degrees before many had even arrived for work on Monday, and it's going to keep rising in Sydney as the scorching weather continues across the city this week. Unusual, never before seen tiny jellyfish-like creatures spotted in the waters of Queensland, Australia this weekend. Millions of previously never before seen tiny jellyfish-like creatures were spotted by locals in the water. Soputan volcano, Sulawesi, Indonesia, spews a violent lava eruption 6 kilometers into the air this week. It's one of Indonesia's most powerful volcanoes and one of the most active in the region. The Colossus last erupted in March 2015. It's been a busy week for volcano eruptions, with 4 happening in Indonesia alone. Officials have ordered an evacuation of residents living at the feet of Mount Egon on the island of Flores in East Nusa Tenggara province, Indonesia, following an increase in volcanic activity this week. And 2 more Indonesian volcanoes rumble with fire. The Sinabung volcano and the Bromo volcano also erupted this week, leaving 15 volcanoes on alert status in Indonesia alone. And not to be outdone, El Salvador's Chaparrastik volcano erupts ash and gas 2,000 meters into the sky this week, topping off a wonderful week and a wonderful start to the year with volcanic activity. It's been a very busy week for major quakes too. We've had this week a 6.7 seen on the clip above in Japan. We've also had a magnitude 6.4 also in Japan. We've had a 6.2 in Bolivia and a magnitude 6.1 in the Philippines, which brings the total to 6 major quakes in January, and of course 2016 as well, At least 45 whales died after a group of 81 washed ashore in Tamil Nadu, India. Underwater disturbance, earthquake or volcanoes are thought to be responsible. While beaching of whales and other aquatic animals is common around the world, experts said it was rare to find such a large number of whales washing up ashore and hinted at the mammals being disorientated by underground activity. Well, that's all I'm afraid for this week. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next week.